welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys makeup do's and don'ts. So to start off, I want to talk about skincare. So I know some people wash their face at night and some people wash their face in the morning, or they do both. So personally, I like to do both. But if you don't want to do both, I highly recommend at least doing it at night. And also I do recommend putting on a moisturizer before you put your makeup on. If you don't know which one to use, ones that I do recommend are going to be the First Aid Beauty. This one is the Ultra Repair Cream. There's also the CeraVe Lotion. So this one is for rough and bumpy skin because I do tend to get bumps. But if you don't get bumps, there are other options for you as well. But for today's video, I'm going to be using a different moisturizer. And this moisturizer I definitely love. But if you have super sensitive skin, it might not be for you. But I'm going to be using the Glow Recipe Pink Juice Moisturizer. And I love this moisturizer because it gives you that beautiful glow. Another one that does give you a really nice glow is the Tatcha cream. There is a hydrating one that gives you such a beautiful glow. Okay, so next up, after moisturizer, I love to use a primer. And this is actually not really necessary. I know some people don't use primer. And if that works for you, you can continue doing that. But personally, I feel like the primer really helps my makeup to stay longer. So that's why I love putting it on. And by the way, I am actually using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And I am just tapping all that all over my face. Okay, and if you do use moisturizer and primer, I highly recommend that you wait a few minutes before putting on the next thing. So with that being said, I'm gonna actually go ahead and wait before I put on that foundation. So I will be back once my face is ready for foundation. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the don'ts first. And some of these also have to do with what I prefer. To be honest with you, I don't prefer to use a dry beauty blender. So I'm gonna just show you how using a dry beauty blender will look. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a few pumps of my foundation on a dry beauty blender. And I'm gonna be doing half of my face with that. Okay, so next up we got concealer. And these are gonna be the don'ts. So I see some people put concealer here. Personally, I feel like this is too much and it's not really going to lift your eye. Another thing I see people do is they don't wait for their concealer to sit there for a bit and they just blend it out right away. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Next up, I'm going to show you how some people apply bronzer. And I see people do this a lot. And they would put it, as you can see, like my ear right here. They would put it almost at the bottom of the ear and out like that. Which, if I'm being completely honest, if this is your preference, it's fine, but this is not really going to do much to your face but make it rounder. Also, I see people put on the bronzer stick right here. Okay, and then I also see people put bronzer right here, which is, as you can see, very low and not even touching the hairline. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out, and you guys might not be able to see that it looks bad, but I will show you the difference of how that is gonna look at the end. So as you can see, it just looks like a big stain on my forehead, and then this is making this side look even more round. So you're gonna see the difference in a bit, but this is kind of how it looks like when it's not correct. As you can see, it looks like a big stain on my forehead, and here too, and on here it just looks like very noticeably two different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and wet my beauty blender, and I'm going to show you how it looks when it's correctly applied. Okay, so my beauty blender is wet now. As you can see, it looks big. So I'm going to go ahead and put some foundation on that. And I'm going to go in on the other side of my face. And as you can see, that's already blending so easily. I just love how it applies and how it looks. It looks way better to me when it is applied with the wet beauty blender. I know you guys can't really see the difference, but you can tell by the way I blended this one and I blended that side. This was so much faster to blend. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the correct way to apply some concealer. So personally, I like putting some here in the inner corner and in the outer right here, and I also apply like a little bit right here. And I actually wait for that to sit. So I am going to be back once that is ready to be blended out, and I will show you how you apply your bronzer the correct way next. Okay, and slowly I'm blending that down, and I like to go in with my finger and just make sure it's well blended. And then now for the outer corner here, sometimes I do it with the brush, but you could very easily do it with the beauty blender, and you will just go up with this. And this just gives you that very lifted look. Okay, and then for my eyes, I like to go in and just blend in that concealer too. Okay, and as you can see, that eye already looks a little bit lifted, but it's gonna come out more lifted once I finish the eyes. But next up, I actually want to show you the correct way to put on that bronzer. So for bronzer, instead of going down here almost at the bottom of your ear, you're actually gonna go at the top of your ear, so all the way here, and you're gonna do just a little line here. And it should look something like this. You shouldn't really put too much, honestly, because it does blend out. So then after, instead of putting it down here on your jaw, you're actually going to put it at the bottom. So it's going to go here. And then for your forehead, you're going to want to make sure that it's right on there on your hair. Okay, And also when you blend it out, you're gonna blend it out upwards rather than inwards. So you're gonna blend it up and not to the bottom. So there you could see it looks already way better than that. And now for the jawline. So as you can see, the line is right there. You're gonna blend down instead of up as well. You just want to create that shadow right there. So this one looks more like a shadow, and this one just looks like you picked out the wrong foundation color, as you can see. And this is just gonna make your face even more snatched. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out, and also going up and not too in. Okay, and already you could see a big difference. This just looks more lifted and this one just looks more rounded. So next up, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the wrong way to do your brows. Okay, so I accidentally didn't record when I did the wrong way for the eyeshadow and for the eyebrow. But just to explain why it was wrong, the brow was way too thick and the eyeshadow was just not well blended, and that's why it was wrong. And I'm gonna just cut that crease with the little concealer that I have on my brush. And I'm not gonna go all the way to the end of my eye. And I'm just gonna be blending it in with my finger. Okay, once it looks something like this, I will usually leave it as is. And then next up, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the wrong way to apply blush. So I see sometimes some people use their blush down here, which is honestly fine. I know this is where people used to put it before, but honestly I prefer it up here. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out and show you how that's gonna look. So first I'm blending out the one that's lower. And usually people will just blend it out here, which, like I said, is not so bad, but to me, at least on me, it looks a little bit more clown-like. So I like to go more up. So I am blending that up. I'm basically gonna marry that blush and bronzer, and I am blending that up. Okay, and as you can see, that just looks way more lifted than this side. Okay, so next up we have highlighter, and I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter. And I see sometimes people put a lot of highlighter, which if that's what you prefer, it's fine, but sometimes people put highlighter kind of where they put their blush, and I see them put a lot there and a lot here, and to me this just doesn't look right. So personally, I actually like to go in with a smaller brush. So I'm gonna go in with another Morphe M433 brush, and I'm grabbing a little bit on there, and I'm gonna be putting some right above where I put that blush. And I'm gonna go ahead in with just a little more. Okay, and then I'm also going to be putting some on my eyelid. Okay, and as you could see, this side looks like a very natural glow as opposed to this side. And next up I'm going to show you lips. So I'm going to go in with the nude beige color, and I'm going to show you, sometimes people overline their lips, which if you do this and if you prefer it that way, it's fine, but I personally don't like it. But I'm going to show you how some people overline their lips. So sometimes I see people go right above. Okay, so sometimes people do something that looks like this, and personally I don't prefer it that way. I think that way is very wrong. I think that there are ways that you can make your lip look bigger, but this is not the way that I would do it. And I don't usually overline my lip or do tricks to make it look bigger, but I'm gonna show you for this video the right way to make it look a little bigger. So you go a little bit above in the middle here, but once you reach that tip here, you're gonna want to follow it. So you're gonna curve it in. Okay. And then on this side, same thing. Follow this and go a little bit more underneath. And as you can see, if I were to cover this side already looks way better. It looks plumped and it doesn't look so dramatic. And then this side looks plumped, but it's honestly too much. Like, I honestly think if I were to go out like this, people would automatically know. This just looks much better. Another thing I see people do that I personally don't like is that they will use a very light color for lip liner, and then they will go in with a dark lip color. So this one is the Anastasia Dusty Rose, and they will just fill it in. Use a lighter color, that's fine, but I would say at least make it be so that it is in the family, so that it is in the pinks and not a pink and a brown, because that just doesn't go. It's different when you do lip gloss. If you do lip gloss, that actually sometimes looks good, but when you do something like a lipstick and a lip liner that are two way off different colors, it just looks wrong. Okay, next up I'm gonna show you eyeliner, and I'm not gonna lie, I do struggle with this one too, but sometimes I see people do very thick eyeliner, which is not a bad thing, but sometimes I think that it just doesn't go with certain people. I just think that sometimes a thinner eyeliner just looks better. But I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you with the Nars Climax liquid eyeliner. And this is actually really perfect because it has a thicker side and a thinner side. So I'm going to show you sometimes how people do it very thick. Okay, and as you can see, that's very thick and it's not as pointy. So now I'm going to show you how it looks when it's thin. So instead of doing it where it's here, instead of doing the line right here where it's almost straight, I'm gonna go even higher with it so it can lift my eye. And I'm gonna go right over here. And as you can see, I drew a very thin line there. And okay, and as you can see, I already messed that up, which is part of the don'ts, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I would fix that. So I'm grabbing the eye makeup remover with a little Q-tip, and I'm just putting a little bit there, and I'm gonna lift that liner up. So I want this to be more pointy. And then from here, I would let it dry. Okay, so sometimes I see people apply their lashes right in the middle here. Okay, so sometimes I see people... Okay, now this may not look very wrong, but the reason it is wrong is because I did not apply mascara at all. I did not curl my lashes at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the right way to do it. So first I would start off by curling my lashes, and I like to go in like little pumps, and from there I will put on a lash primer, which this step you don't really have to do, but I prefer putting on a lash primer before putting on my mascara. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put those lashes up. And I only use this lash primer on my top lashes. And then I go in with my mascara. So I'm using the Lancome Monsieur Bay, and I am taking off the excess there because the last thing I want is a bunch of mascara just going on my lash. And lightly I am looking down but curling up. And I like to curl the lashes in the inner corner with the tip of the mascara wand. And little by little I will just go up with it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my bottom lashes very lightly. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry up a bit before I go in with my lashes. Okay, so I went ahead and applied the other lash on the correct way, and the only difference I did is instead of putting that lash right in the middle, I went ahead and put it in the corner. I did forget to mention too, the lashes were already cut before I put them on, and to me this side just looks way more lifted and this one looks more open, which if you prefer it that way, it's fine, but I think that this way just looks way better. So with that being said, comment down below if these tips really did help you guys. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.